All right, everybody.
And
We are back on the air.
let's give it a minute
Yeah,
so people get their notifications and we can try to get everybody on board to give them an update.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
updated announcement here. So as everybody's kind of filing in the live stream here, we'll give you guys a minute or so to react um, to your notifications here and get online. We're right here. We're just muted, so we're just kind of waiting for everybody to fill the room up before we let everybody know what the story is. So just come on in.
We can
The
keep
water's
talking.
warm.
Yeah, come on in. The water's fine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least while everybody's coming in,
Just
we
give
can,
everybody a little update
yeah,
maybe on the game
yeah,
before the
yeah,
storm hit. So
yep. Go ahead. I
yeah,
mean, I was very pleased with what I saw.
yeah I thought before the storm came rolling in, the Hoya offense looked really, really good.
Yeah,
The Hoya defense really looked better than last week. It just you could tell last week was a scrimmage. You only saw vanilla from both sides, but
yeah,
the difference this year between last year's offense, you can see it's pretty obvious. And so the Hoyas were up 28-7. They're one missed tackle away from being up 28-0.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're that one mistake, and Xavier Hill was pretty much doing whatever he wanted in the passing game and in the running game. So,
Yeah, I think he only was really pressured once
mm-hmm.
and got away from that.
Right.
So O line did a great job protecting him. Of course, it helps when you have a really mobile quarterback. It's been something that has been really important the last this first half, and the game we saw last week,
Yep.
And sort of keeping drives alive. You know, and to the Hoyas' credit, their first touchdown overcame 2 holding penalties,
Yep.
and a delay of game, and still scored. Had a touchdown call back on one of those penalties,
Mm-hmm.
and were undeterred.
Yep.
Kept pressing forward, battled through adversity, the penalties, and scored. And then it was just kind of just when they went up, 21-0, and then the one 3-yard pass results in an 80-yard touchdown, and then the Hoyas answered right back. So
Yep.
I thought Xavier played really well, threw the ball well, patient. Yep. I liked how patient our running backs were.
Yep.
Picking their spots. I thought Washington ran really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Krauser, it has a little bit. You can see that little burst, and he's a very patient runner.
Combe.
Combe.
Both sides of the ball.
Playing both sides of the ball, playing really, really well. Nicholson.
Yes.
Darian Nicholson, or Dylan Nicholson, sorry. Number 29. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite players to watch on this team.
Yeah. In the punt return game, he's fearless. And
it.
now you can see they're trying to work him in, as a receiver on the offensive side. So, just overall, the Hoyas had a very good first 15 minutes, 14 minutes?
13 minutes and 29 seconds of the 2024 campaign, and it came to an abrupt halt when the lightning struck, and it has continued to strike, and that's what brings us on the air right now. In fact, moments before we went live, there was another lightning strike within our 10-mile perimeter, which has kind of, I think, forced Terry and I our hand.
Yeah.
Because that pushes the resumption of play probably to at least 11:15. As we had previously reported on Instagram, it was going to be 11. Well, that just resets the clock. Now we're looking at 11:15, and that's just I don't know. That makes for an extremely long day for us.
That's a long day for us. That's a 17, 18-hour day.
Yeah.
And, and the funny thing is we both said that we would love to see this game finish, but it's just not realistic at this point because if we get another strike,
it's just
going to make it more closer to 11:30 most likely.
12
and this same conversation is going on between the coaches and the schools right now,
and not just our school.
Correct. And this is going on all across the northern part of Atlanta. There are so many games that have gone into weather delays because of this line of storms that's come through. And now it's excellent.
Now we have an excellent signal. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but and all these conversations are taking place, and you've got to figure out. You got to factor in. All right, is it worth resuming? Is it worth forfeiting? Is it worth bringing your kids back out after what is going to
They
eventually
have
be about a
sat-
2-hour delay.
Yeah, they have sat now for about an hour plus,
Correct.
and it's rapidly approaching an hour and 15 minutes.
Yep.
They warm up for 45 minutes. They go, they're playing, then all of a sudden they're cool for an hour and 15 minutes.
Mhm.
You have to look at, and I'm looking at it from an athletic trainer's perspective. Yes, we have to abide by the EAP and the lightning guidelines, but we also sort of need to look at, okay, do we want to send these kids out in an abbreviated warm up after
Correct.
they've been sitting for an hour and 15 minutes? You get more soft tissue injuries. The intensity is going to be different.
Yep.
And if you're not 100%, if you're not playing 100%, that's when you get hurt.
Yep.
And you just don't want to see anybody get hurt in a game that is not a region game.
Mm-hmm.
Is a blowout now. It is going to only get worse.
Most likely.
Yep. So, it's
at the end of the day, I'll look at it from a coaching standpoint. I would not want to put my men back on the field. It's just not safe because of exactly what you just laid out. And that's just from a physiology standpoint.
Yes, we're not making this up. This is that's a legitimate concern.
Yep.
You cannot replicate the adrenaline of the pregame when they come out of that field house after sitting there for an hour and 15 minutes, knowing they're up 3 touchdowns. It's not 0-0.
Yep.
It's
and by the way, you got somewhere between 1 inch and 2 inches of rain
on this field.
So that field is not going to be at 100%. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not a safe playing environment. So, like we said, that's the conversations that are being had right now between coaches and athletic directors and principals and county athletic directors. And so,
So, with all that said,
yes,
to our loyal fans and listeners, whenever the game does resume, and we have been told it will resume, but it's being dictated by weather, and the weather keeps pushing it back, we will not be bringing you the rest of Harrison versus Kennesaw Mountain. I regretfully say that, but I hope you can find it in your hearts to understand sort of where we're coming from.
Yeah, because 7:30 was a long time ago.
7:50, 7:10, 7:15 was a long time ago for a couple of 50-year-olds. So, but we love doing this.
Absolutely. I wish we could fit because I love seeing what we saw.
It's a great product. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be an exciting year. Again, we feel bad, but there's no telling how late this is going to push into the night. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so we will.
We feel bad. Don't think that we don't. We do, but
begrudgingly, we will not bring you resumption of play whenever that is, if it occurs. Again, that's the plan right now, but that may change as they continue to communicate. So,
all right, everybody, we appreciate you listening tonight. We appreciate you going back and forth with us on the chat. On the Hoya Alumni Live chat line. Thanks to all our sponsors, Smith Appliance, Don Brooks, RE/MAX around Atlanta, Post CPAs, Elevate Sports Medicine, J.L. Brooks Construction, Signs and More, Kennesaw Embroidery, MMP Customs, Pinnacle Orthopedics, and Carl Black Chevrolet of Kennesaw. We appreciate you guys, and we will be bringing you more coaches interviews, more player spotlights next week. Go to the website, hnsradio.com. Go to the podcast, listen to the Simon Zidane interview. We didn't get to play that for you tonight. It's on there. Download it. Great words from Simon. He's a funny guy and a really good kid, and got great things ahead of him. So spend some time and listen to his interview if you get a chance. And we'll be live at 7 p.m. next Friday night as the Hoyas travel over to East Cobb to take on the Wheeler Wildcats. For Terry Kemp, this is Adam Freeman, and you've been listening to Harrison Football on HNS Radio. Feel the game.